movement in the history of our country.
The Democrat Party is actually working against religion, against freedom, and shutting down churches. I see the Holy Spirit, the evidence of the Holy Spirit working in the president when he takes the kind of actions he does.
We want justice for George Floyd and his family. Everybody agrees on that. But this utter destruction and violence is not the way to do that.
And President Trump brought this back again to the country.
With Joe Biden, he hasn't even condemned Antifa. Just think about that for 1 minute. He hasn't condemned the rioters.
If you voted for Trump, you ain't black.
Yeah, you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
I have to look at myself and black, because some people say, Herschel, you're not black. I'm like, no, I am black.
HBCUs and the things that the president has done to invest and to support the black community, that's how we grow out of this.
Defunding the police is insane. The police are what protect us all from anarchy.
We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. We will make America great again.
Welcome to Team Trump Online.
I understand the pain that people are feeling. The death of George Floyd on the streets of Minneapolis was a grave tragedy. It should never have happened. It has filled Americans all over the country with horror, anger, and grief. We support the right of peaceful protesters, and we hear their pleas. The voices of law-abiding citizens must be heard, and heard very loudly. We will stand with the family of George Floyd, with the peaceful protesters, and with every law-abiding citizen who wants decency, civility, safety, and security. But what we are now seeing on the streets of our cities has nothing to do with justice or with peace. The memory of George Floyd is being dishonored by rioters, looters, and anarchists. The violence and vandalism is being led by Antifa and other radical left-wing groups who are terrorizing the innocent, destroying jobs.
Did this for no reason.
The mobs are devastating the life's work of good people and destroying their dreams.
That worked so hard to get here. So hard.
It harms those who have the least. We cannot and must not allow a small group of criminals and vandals to wreck our cities and lay waste to our communities. We must defend the rights of every citizen to live without violence, prejudice, or fear. Healing, not hatred, justice, not chaos, are the mission at hand. I stand before you as a friend and ally to every American seeking justice and peace. No one is more upset than fellow law enforcement officers by the small handful who fail to abide by their oath to serve and protect. We support the overwhelming majority of police officers who are incredible in every way and devoted public servants. We must all work together as a society to expand opportunity and to create a future of greater dignity and promise for all of our people. Every citizen in every community has the right to be safe in their workplace, safe in their homes, and safe in our city streets. We are working toward a more just society, but that means building up, not tearing down, joining hands, not hurling fists, standing in solidarity, not surrendering to hostility. This is the sacred right of all Americans that I am totally determined to defend and will defend.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Team Trump Online. I'm Katrina Pierson, Senior Advisor to President Trump's re-election campaign, and tonight I'm joined by some amazing small business owners whose viral video captured the hearts and minds of Americans all across the country. Joining us this evening are Mustafa Alsaedi and Miss Lucy Halsley. They had their business completely devastated. However, patriots across the country have chipped in and they're out there supporting you. And I just want to thank you both for coming on the show. And, you know, you have defeated the odds and excelled in the face of incredible obstacles. Because after all, that is what the American spirit is all about. So, Mustafa, Lucy, welcome to Team Trump Online.
Thank you for having us today.
Thank you very much.
You know, you both co-owned the Valentine Deli in the Bronx, which was a business that did get swept up in the violence. Miss Lucy, I must have watched your video multiple times, as well as many people who are on our program, and it's been shared all over the country. Can you share with us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in the Valentine Deli?
Okay, let me go back. I'm from Osceola, Arkansas. Okay, I've been working ever since I was 4 years old in the field. My mother passed. I've been in New York ever since I was between about 14, 15, maybe 16. I came on an ABC maid job, and I've been working ever since. A few years back, I had to stop and take care of my kids because there was a lot of problem between my husband and everything else. I always told from my mother, you ain't gonna be nothing, da 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 da. And I said, I got to prove them wrong. I got to prove them wrong before I die. I met him, God bless him. Before I met him, I used to be an R&B singer, and I was singing for Sam Records Company. It was up on the Lucy Hawkins, you know, like a stage name. I met him. I've been on this block about almost 40 years or 40 years. I met the workers first. We gave a great relationship. Then I met him, and we began to talk. I said, you know, I would love to open up a business. He looked at me, oh, yeah? I said, yes. He said, it's hard, Mommy. It's hard. It's hard. I said, I'm a hard worker. You don't understand. Sure. So after a year and a half, we became very close. He said, looked at me and said, oh, God, excuse me. He said, I'm going to trust you. I'm going to give you a chance. I have a good feeling you are a hard worker. You will do what you say. I said, sir, I'll do it till the day I die. If I have to die sitting up working. I was working before, but I had problems with my back because of 9/11. And I had proof of surgery all over me. So he asked me, he said, with all these problems you got, I said, I still got a little something left in me, my hands. I want to sew and make things. So I told him the ideas and what I like to do. He got, wow. He said, look, I'm going to bring you in. So on the day, all the measurement, that night, horrible. I said, it set me back to my dream I always wanted. Nobody in the world, not that I know, unless you have faith, will offer you a partnership, and you don't have any money, you don't have hardly toilet papers or wipe it behind the skin. If you want to take that out, that's fine. But I'm just telling the truth. He said, Mommy, come on in. And all the ideas and what I showed him I could do, he loved it. I said, it's not taken away from the store. I would like to see this community build up and put kids to work. I'm tired of them getting a high school diploma, and then when they go out there, they got to work at McDonald's. Well, since they put all them years in, and that's the way it is. And I'm looking at the minority, okay? I'm not talking about just my skin color. That doesn't matter. You idea, and it'll work. Come on, work with me. We'll do it. We'll do it as an alliance, and I will bring it to him first. I told him I would have nothing that I would hide from him, and don't hide from me. Because if we're going to be like he's bringing me in as a partner into business up under him. And then he offered me a place. You don't have to pay for your. I got your tax for right now. I got your license for right now. I got your permit for right now. Don't worry about it, Lucy. Just bring on what you say. And I'm ready. I'm ready. Believe me, I'm ready. And with all the people that supported me, I didn't even know it was GoFundMe till about 2 or 3 days later. And I said, Mustafa, this place got to be fixed up. What do we need to do? What do you need me to do? I can only do so much because my back and leg, the surgery I had, because I have arthritis in my back, and they told me I was supposed to have been crippled way before now. I said, no way. There's a God in heaven. As long as I pray and trust God. All these years, look at this. I soon be 70 years old, and now my dream does not come. I tell everybody, keep your dream. Don't give up. Don't give up. So we want to help the peoples in the neighborhood. He talked about the idea. He called me late at night. I said, yes, sir. What happened now at the store? He said, what do you think of the money left over? I said, yes, because we have to show the people where this money went at or give it back. He said, how about we go down the streets and see and on Fordham and see who need help. I said, oh, if the people agree on it, I agree. But I want a plaque outside. You keep saying, what you say, a frame? I keep saying, I would love a tree. You know why? Because the tree is from the root.
Yeah.
That's my root. Hang their little, put their little initials on, a little hanging thing from the leaf. I don't care if it's 3 or 4 names. You can hang it there. You can hook it and hang it there. And when they come, they can say, look, or bring their children. Look at your grandmama name up there. Look at your dad name up there. Look at mommy name up there with your name. We supported the neighborhood. We did. Yes. I want to be a kingdom builder, and he knows that.
That is such a powerful story, Miss Lucy. I just can't even imagine, what you all had to go through. The story that, you both bring today, is truly what America is all about. And Mustafa, she said such wonderful, amazing things about you. Tell us who you are and how you're here today.
She's wonderful. That's why she said everybody. Like she said, I've been here for almost 7 years now with this business. Trying to fix it, trying to make it better, try to do everything we could do to this community. And, try to get everybody involved in here and fix, get this community to a better place. And then I started, I met her one time. She was helping me. She's wonderful. Everybody in the neighborhood love her. She's like, she's like a mom. You could say a mom. She would do anything to help anybody.
That's what they call me. That's what they called me at PS 85 when I was there for 10 years. This is the mother of the school. Yeah. Kids would get in trouble. My mother worked here, but I was working with Parent Involvement Task Force. They would go get me. Lucy, that's your child? Yes, I'm the mother when the parent is not here. What did the child do?
She'll do anything without needing to get her payback or you have to do anything for her. She just do it from the heart, just to help anybody.
He does too.
And she been there for us since we know her. Sweetheart. She could be anybody's mom. And then
how long have you been there, Mustafa? What's your story though? What's your story? Like
We've been here for almost 7 years. We've been here for almost 7 years.
Okay.
She was a customer at first. She knew everybody, and then we try to talk. I get to know her because everybody is saying, "Oh, this lady is nice." Like when you start to talk to her, she's a sweetheart. She's good. She got a good heart. From the way she talks, from the way she, she's the sweetest thing ever. you could feel like she's your mom from the first day. And then she used to help us a lot. And then we talked about doing business. And then we was ready to do like a place for her by the front of the store. We did, the measurement and everything, and ready to get everything going. And this thing happened. I mean, how is business everywhere with the COVID-19? Everybody try to, survive here, and everybody have bills, everybody have family to feed, and we was doing our best, and this thing happened. It's just, it's very, very bad.
Yeah, where did the name Valentine come from? Why did you name it Valentine Deli?
We are on 188 in Valentine Avenue. So I said, it's a good name. Let's name it. And I just named it after that street.
Well, it's a wonderful name to love.
Yes, and we have hearts in here all over the store. I can show you if you don't mind.
That is amazing. Did you expect the video to go as viral as it did? And what were you thinking in that moment?
We said, we were so mad, we were so sad. Like we said, let's do a video just to post it in my brother's Facebook, because I was just so sad. I didn't want to post anything. And then she did it, and she said, we're going to go famous. Just like that.
No.
They
said famous. Everybody was saying, oh, you're going to be famous. You're going to be famous.
She knew what she was saying.
I want to get the message out.
But she spoke.
You want something, get up off your butt.
She spoke her heart out. She spoke from the inside, because she'd been there all night. I mean, when that thing happened, I was looking at the camera, because it was we was here until 2 o'clock in the morning, and there was a shootout in the corner. We said, you know what, no, and none of the business is worth somebody dying here. So we left. She left. Everybody left, and then I got home, and I'm watching the cameras, and I seen them start destroying the store in front, and and then I called her. I said, "Mommy, please come down. I need your help here." And then I came back. It was just it was a mess. It was a mess. They destroyed everything in there. She helped us out with the whole night until the morning, clean it up until afternoon. I mean, nobody would do that. Not a friend. Only your partner, your family, your brother, like a very close somebody that comes at the middle of the night with everything that was going on that night. It was dangerous for anybody. And then she was out here helping us out and cleaning and fixing, and we try to do everything we could.
Well, if anybody deserves to be famous right now, it's you two. What I'd like to do is show everyone the clip that we're speaking about. And if anyone deserves to be famous right now, it's you two. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
The problem that bothers me, you says Black Lives Matter. I've worked here part-time. Plus, I'm a part owner of this store. You said Black Lives Matter. Why don't you choke me? I'm black.
Tell him, sister.
Look what you did to my store.
Tell him, sister.
Look what you did to my store.
Tell him, sister. That's right, because I got they back. These are my dudes right here. Good
Look
men.
at the things you've done.
Good men.
Look.
The Black Lives Matter.
We've been here all night cleaning up. All night cleaning.
And you got black people standing right here with them.
Tell me
That's right.
Black Lives Matter.
Exactly.
You lied. You wanted to loot the store. You needed money. Get a job like I do. Stop stealing. This is the neighborhood. We trying to build it up and you tearing it down.
Yeah, Miss Lucy, that was something else, and you could definitely hear it in your voice. You can see it in your mannerisms. You were definitely speaking from your heart, and that destruction was unbelievable and inexcusable. So that morning after,
but the real reason is really not my store, because people got it out. Oh, she's the black owner. No, I feel this is a part of me in here.
Yeah.
It's a place I come, I get coffee, they treat me nice with respect. Mommy, are you hungry? Do you need something? Nobody gonna do that for you. If you give respect, respect come back. That's all I'm trying to reach out. And I'm trying to reach to tell a parent, stop calling your kids stupid. If someone say you ain't gonna be nothing, you look at it. You will be something. Prove them wrong. It happened to my daughter. She's working with a cardiologist. I got another daughter. She's working with the law enforcement. I have a son. He's got his own business now, and he was the biggest problem in the family. So Dad is, when he came in, he's the one. He's the king. You know, well, we give God credit, but it's his heart. I wish you could be here to meet him, then you would see what I'm saying.
Well, maybe we'll get to meet him someday. It sounds like a beautiful story. And
No, I don't want to hear someday. I want to get closer.
Yes, absolutely. And Mustafa, let's take now the opportunity to talk about the GoFundMe page for the deli, because it went viral also. Can you tell us about how the community is now supporting you? I mean, are you getting any feedback from this?
Yes, I already spoke with Nicole. At first, we had a goal, like, you know, whatever we could get just to fix whatever we can. And the goal, we keep going. Like, we reached the amount, like, what is enough for us to fix it. And then me and Nicole spoke about, like, the extra money we had that we're going to go through businesses, because I seen business like mine that was destroyed that night. And we're ready to fix them, too, with the rest of the money. That was more than what we needed here in Valentine Deli. So we're gonna go through all the businesses we could share with the money with them, and fix whatever was what anybody needs in that block of Valentine Deli.
Well, that is very, very kind and thoughtful of you both. And we all cannot wait to see you back in business as soon as possible. Miss Lucy, Mr. Alsaedi, those are amazing stories. And do you have any final thoughts that you would like to leave with our viewers? Miss Lucy, let's start with you.
Come together. Come together. That's what it's all about. We need to come together in this neighborhood. We need to stand up for what is right. Go ahead and vote. Vote, vote, vote. When you vote, you know what you are voting for and who you're voting for and who will stand with you, and you stand with them. But by the president just being sitting in the White House, you don't know really. So you have to stand up with him as an alliance. You know, you can't just sit there. Stand up. Stand up for what is right. And don't be afraid. Have no fear. You know, there is no fear in God. None. He didn't give us a spirit of fear. He gave us a spirit of sound mind and love. So we have to show that. That's the problem.
That's a great message.
Need to be taught all over again. And we need to work with the police department. Look what they went through. Look what the central workers went through. It's sad. You know, it's sad. It's sad.
Well, we hope people hear your message, because that is extremely important for people to hear and understand. Mr. Alsaedi, do you have any final thoughts for our viewers?
Yes. There's a lot of ways to change for something about what's going on. There's so many ways to make a change, but now with violence and routing and destroying people, that has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
You know, there's family business, their kids. There's a lot of families that was, you know, people that their business got destroyed, and I don't know. I mean, we was lucky that GoFundMe, you know, helped us out. If it wasn't for that, what would have happened to us? I mean, it's so many ways so many ways for you to change something, not violence. Violence, you came out protecting for violence, and then you violence somebody else too. So the whole thing it looks like a mess. And then we thank everybody that helped us out with the GoFundMe, the donation, the calls we got. So many calls, so many people wish us. You know, we thank everybody.
Even Mr. Singh from Minneapolis, Minnesota. He's a great guy. God bless him. He's a great guy. He said, Lucy, we're standing with you. I said, stand with us, please. Lucy, we're standing with you. I said, okay. What you do for me is going to be done for him and the community. You know, everybody's calling me, but If it was, they have to understand. If it wasn't for him, this would have not have been. And you know, I also said, even though they messed up, they acted out their ways because of the way they felt. So we have to forgive, forget, clean up, start all over again, take a stand, say we're not going to do this anymore. Okay, we're going to get it together. And, you know, and just share the love. You know, turn things around. You can do a whole lot with love. It's very important to have around you the love and the respect of people's. You get that back. You may not see it, but you get it back. You know,
it makes all the difference in the world. It absolutely does. You know, I just want to say from the bottom of our heart here at the Trump campaign, the president is very much wanting to help the people of the community, providing those additional resources, made those available. So we're just all proud that you're with us today and can share your story. So thank you both so much for joining us here today.
Thank you very much.
You both. We'll be with you
want water?
So
yeah, I'm just glad he didn't give up.
Well, yes, never give up. Never give up. You're absolutely right. We'll stay right there. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll be right back with more Team Trump Online.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump and you ain't black, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump and you ain't black, and you ain't black,
And you ain't black.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message. My administration will take all necessary steps to safeguard our citizens from this threat.
hysterical xenophobia.
Be giving Americans a false sense.
Is it accurate that if these steps had not been put in place, it could have been 2 million people dead here in the United States?
Yes.
No matter how hard they try to stop us, they can't. We built the greatest economy the world has ever seen, and we're going to do it again. Together, we're beating back the invisible enemy.
What the federal government did was a phenomenal accomplishment.
Through it all, the world has witnessed the unyielding resolve of our incredible American people.
Promise made, promise kept.
And I'm fighting for you, and I love doing it with everything that I have. And you know that. With the grace of God, we will win this war, and we will win this war quickly. And we will make America great again.
Welcome back to Team Trump Online. I'm Katrina Pierson. We just heard an inspiring story about a business being built, destroyed, and rebuilt with the help of people all over the country. Radical and violent rioters and looters have done untold damage to Black communities and have essentially been given a free pass by Democrats and the mainstream media to do so. And this ultimately was dishonoring their intended purpose to bring awareness to police brutality. And amidst all of this, the protesters are now calling to defund the police, which would further drive these communities into chaos. Days had gone by before Joe Biden's campaign eventually sent out a staffer with a statement stating that they don't believe in defunding the police. But his given failure to swiftly condemn the violence and extremism of the rioters due to political games, he now finds himself on the side of anarchy and chaos. It is not enough to send out a staffer or even a top surrogate to make a statement. Joe Biden himself needs to publicly condemn and disavow this dangerous call. You see, Joe Biden has turned his back on the men and women who protect our communities. And this is what happens when woke Democrats choose the side of chaos. This is not the Democrat Party of Kennedy. Without police, who are people going to call when they're in trouble? What about the single mother whose home is being invaded? And what about the victims of domestic violence when they're in need? Who will they turn to? Police officers play a critical role in community building. They not only keep the peace and maintain law and order, they also foster cooperation as community leaders. Defunding the police would mean that our communities would be left behind, and that is the last thing we need. But to no surprise, Joe Biden has offered nothing constructive throughout this entire ordeal, unless pandering with empty words count. Because Joe Biden is no friend to the Black community. In fact, he has a record of over 40 years of destruction and devastation of Black America. And that includes 8 years in the White House under a Black president, and they did nothing to address the systemic racism that they claim runs rampant in police departments. And these are police departments that just happen to be heavily controlled by Democrat districts run by Democrat mayors in Democrat strongholds across the country. Think about that. President Trump, however, has a 4-year record of undoing the damage that Joe Biden and the Democrats have caused in Black America. And in this case specifically, he immediately called for the Department of Justice to do a civil rights investigation and pledged that justice will be served. But the sad truth, however, is that Democrats and Joe Biden love the division that's sweeping across the country right now. Democrats have spent years spreading fear, chaos, and stoking the flames of racism, all so they could point the blame at Trump. Whether it be racism, sexism, xenophobia, Russia, hoax after hoax, lie after lie, they offer no solutions, just confusion and chaos. To the point today where rioters and looters are destroying businesses and anarchists set fire to places of worship. That is Democrats' America. They know that when they promote division, the public is easier to control. And that's why their motto is to never let a good crisis go to waste. It was President Trump who stepped in and offered federal resources and put additional manpower on the streets that calmed this chaos. He stepped up to protect Americans who were abandoned by their local elected leadership. Democrats have had their chance, in fact, decades of chances, and they have failed. Defunding the police would keep us down and allow insurmountable damage. We saw this from the stories of Mustafa and Miss Lucy about what happens when chaos reigns, and that was with a police department. Their American dream was almost destroyed. Under President Trump's leadership, their American dream is back. The Great America Comeback is also underway, and the future is brighter, and shame on Democrats who cheer our nation's downfall. But their plan to succumb to chaos and bend to the radical will of anti-American politicians and anarchists will fail, and our nation will continue to rise from this victoriously. And with that, we'd like to thank you all for joining us for tonight's show. We hope you all contribute to Mustafa and Miss Lucy's business and many others who may be in need during this time. We must remain focused on rebuilding, not tearing down our communities. President Trump is working day in and day out to keep law and order and unity in place as our nation navigates through our recent challenges. And it is our job to keep him in the White House fighting for Americans. So here's how you can stand with us and fight for 4 more years of President Trump. You can download the new groundbreaking app now available on Apple and Android. You can sign up to volunteer, register for events, and win exclusive prizes. You can attend digital TVLI trainings and even host virtual MAGA meetups. You can also phone bank from home. To stay in contact with us, please text Trump to 88022. And if you or your friends, family, or neighbors want to be involved in our fight to re-elect President Donald J. Trump, please visit armyfortrump.com to sign up. Don't forget to like and share our online broadcast. Thank you all for joining us tonight, and tune in 7 nights a week for more Team Trump Online. Check our online schedule for the next episode of Team Trump Online. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time.